Hello and welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It is... Hold on, give me like... No, I'm just kidding. One day I'll get it smoothly, I promise. Saturday, the 1st of March 2014. And I have an article in front of me from WND.com. And it is under the column of education. And if it's weird for you to listen to the news on a Saturday, hey man, you're not the only one. It's the least reported news day of the week. So let's get into this. Noah's Ark finally on the way to America. Funding in place for 510-foot long copy of biblical vessel. This is by Bob Unruh. They have like a picture here of what it would look like. I guess somebody drew this, but it's not really important. If you want to come look at this for yourself, it is on WD.com. Bon Voyage launch set for real. Noah's Ark. This is under the column of education. If you want to go check it out for yourself. A life-size replica of Noah's Ark, the biblical vessel on which God saved people and animals when the earth was flooded as punishment for mankind's sins, is coming to the U.S. and is expected to draw more than 1 million Americans every year. The story of Noah is coming to the big screen, too. Hollywood used models, sets, stages, and other tricks of the movie trade to create those stunning images. Well, I don't really care to see that movie because it's made by Hollywood. Russell Crowe doesn't even really understand the role that he's playing. If you've ever seen the interview that Russell Crowe gave about the character of Noah that he's playing in the movie Noah, first of all, the movie's called Noah, so you know that this movie is biblically inaccurate because they are focusing in on the character and not on what the character's, what his circumstances were, what it was that he was called to do, because it's very clear if you read Genesis chapter 6 verse 9 through 13 that Noah was a guy who was considered righteous, and he was the only person on earth considered righteous by God. Everybody was contaminated with the fallen angels, and everybody was exceedingly wicked. The world was very sinful, and the only person that God saw as righteous was Noah. So you can't misinterpret that. If Hollywood's going to make a movie about Noah and they're going to tell you that he was a tyrant, that he was a bad person and this and that, they're trying to deceive you I think it's political reasons. People want to they want to gear you toward Christians and make you pretty much, well, you atheists and evolutionists out there, you guys will believe anything you're told, in my honest opinion. I believe you guys will believe anything you're told by the establishment, by the mainstream media, because you guys hide behind a fake matrix of running away from what reality really is. And I understand that you guys aren't ready to accept the Ten Commandments. You guys aren't ready to accept sin into as what you really are and all that. But you guys can't go around and say you guys could pretty much remake history and say whatever you guys want, because you guys don't fool the real Christians out there. You don't fool me, and for real, you guys need to get right with God, because that's the only way you're going to see reality for what it is. Because when I get comments on my videos, sometimes I see how you guys respond to it, and you guys don't even understand the influence and worldview that you guys are having created by this believing in evolution and all that. Because what it is you guys believe that if anybody doesn't agree with you, that they should be killed. That that's a very... Well, you guys want to always talk about relativism and whatever, but Nazi Germany used evolution. Stalin used ways to justify what he did using science. So did Karl Marx. So did we could go down the list of history of what your worldview creates, and it creates death. You guys are, like it says in the Bible, those that hate me love death, and that's God saying that. But yeah, before I'm all going on rants and stuff. My bad. But anyway, I digress. But anyways, let me just keep reading this. But that's what's being planned by Answers in Genesis Ministry Chief Ken Ham, who destroyed Bill Nye in that debate of creation versus evolution, and if creation was a viable way of looking at science, or I forgot what it was. If creation was a viable method of understanding the origin of life and everything, and Ken Ham destroyed Bill Nye, period. It will not be a model, a set or a stage, and it will not be a trick produced by a camera. So Ken Ham has, of course, Answers in Genesis makes a lot of great things about creation, and So does the Living Waters Ministry. They're making a Noah movie, and that one looks really interesting. It looks 10 times better than Hollywood's Noah. They can use all the stupid CG they want, but what I want is something with some substance in it, man. This is dry what Hollywood's giving you. It's not even really. It's all just for flash, and they're using the Bible to make money and stuff because the Bible series came out, the Son of Man came out in movies yesterday. Everybody wants to see this stuff. I think people are thirsty for wanting to know the truth, and they're tired of people telling them that they don't have the right to speak their mind. They don't have the right to believe. And our religious liberties are under attack today. Like you got the gay majority tyranny trying to say that it's wrong of us to exercise our religious freedoms, and it's that you guys is being all. If you guys really wanted to know where this stuff is coming from, all I could say is all roads lead to Rome. All roads lead to Rome. You guys need to know that all this stuff has to do with some really ridiculous. The truth is stranger than fiction, and you guys would be very surprised if you guys looked into the Vatican and seen what's really going on with those people. They're behind a lot of stuff that's going on all over the world. It's like an octopus with its tentacles all over the earth, and they're just manipulating societies all over the earth. These Jesuit priests and the Pope, and these guys are no good. They got the whole world fooled, by the way. Nobody really understands that they're the man behind the curtain. They're the great and powerful Oz. They're the guy that you're supposed to not pay attention to. Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. It's the Pope. I'll just tell you. Spoiler alert, Bible spoiler alert, it's the Pope. The Antichrist is the Pope. It's not Obama. It's not, but whatever. I digress, by the way. It will be a life-size version of Noah's Ark at 510 feet long, 85 feet wide, and 3 stories high, and it will be used as an evangelism tool in his outreach to unbelievers. He announced Thursday that funding for the first phase has been put in place, and groundbreaking on the project is expected in only weeks, sometime in May. The Ark Encounter will be built on 800 acres adjacent to Interstate 75 at Williamstown, Kentucky, bringing hundreds of jobs to the community. The first phase will cost an estimated $73 million. The initial costs, including building permits and licenses, property preparation, architectural plans, and exhibit designs, already have been paid through the sale of memberships to the exhibit, as well as donations prior to a bond offering that put in place the rest of the funding for the outreach. The ministry has reached and continues to raise funds for the project. It also is being financed through the bond program, which Ham told WND has faced obstacles from atheists and other opponents of his message. The first phase includes parking lots with a tram that will carry visitors through a valley to the entrance. There, a pathway will allow visitors to begin their trip back in time to what the Ark would have looked like, how the animals would have been protected, how Noah and his family would have lived, and more. It will be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, attraction built by a Christian ministry to draw the attention of people to whom it wishes to share its message. Essentially, that being man was separated from God in his holiness, and Jesus came to earth as both God and man to open a door for humankind to return to him. Ham's Creation Museum, only a short drive from the site for the Ark Encounter, has had about 2 million visitors in its first 6 years of existence, and professional studies estimated that the Ark Encounter will draw, in a worst-case scenario, some 1.2 million people per year. The estimates actually ranged up to 2 million visitors per year. It's not meant as only a tourist attraction or job generator, although it undoubtedly will play those roles, he said. Answers in Genesis is a ministry. We make no apology about the fact that we proclaim the authority of the Word of God, he said. Well, yeah. You can believe whatever you want, but it's really irrelevant when you're an atheist and you want to act arrogant and proud and you hide behind a system of institutionalized religion. It's easy to act arrogant, but when you look at the Christian, he's not looking for an intellectual fight. He's looking to address your conscience and get you to know and understand you're made in the image of God. You're better than an animal. You have a conscience that tells you right from wrong. You're a moral creature. You're made a little lower than the angels, but you are crowned with splendor, and you are made to be transformed into the image of Christ. That's what God did for you. He didn't have to do it. He could have just sent us to hell and just destroyed us all, but instead, he wrote a book, and it's amazing to know that we're living in a great time. Say you were born in the time of the Judges, and people were doing whatever was right in their own eyes, and all that. That would be a crazy time. It's not like we haven't had times like that recently, and that it would never happen again. But I mean, let's even go back further. Let's go back to the time of Cain and Abel. You know what I mean? Was there salvation back then? Was there grace back then? Yeah. I mean, I believe that innocent people like Abel, who knew God, he didn't get sent to hell just because. But what I'm trying to say is that we live in a time where today is the day of salvation. Today is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice in it. Today is a great day to lift your head up, man. And you're living in a society, in a world that you cannot act like that. If you see a guy who's just graceful and happy and nothing's bothering him, everybody kind of thinks of you as naive, inexperienced, a fool, and someone who doesn't really get reality. But the Christian doesn't let reality mold him. The Christian doesn't let society influence him and condition him to be like everyone else. See, the world is trying to be like everyone else. The Christian doesn't want to be like you. The Christian only looks at Christ as his only role model, his idol. Because nowadays in America, there's no shame in saying that I idolize something. Oh, I idolize Britney Spears, or I idolize Justin Bieber, or I idolize this. It's like you're not even ashamed to say that you're idolizing another human being who is flawed and is not even... celebrities kill themselves all the time. Look at Philip Seymour Hoffman. You think money and fame satisfies you? You think money and fame is going to really make you happy and make you feel like you're fulfilled in life no, you're not. I've had a certain amount of success with everything I've ever put my mind to: skateboarding, music, MMA, and I don't take it like I'm on top. I just take it as it's like the Word of God says, the man is like a blade of grass, and his works are like the flower, in that it fadeth, man. Your works, people they'll be like, oh, that's cool today, but you'll be forgotten tomorrow, man. Like, you'll look at people like Socrates, man, great philosophical minds, man. Look at all of the past Reformationists, man. Like, look at all of these great people that have lived on earth, and nobody gives a damn about any of those people anymore. Our great philosophers of our time are Kanye West, Jay-Z, and now you look at the general public and you see this zombie-like, low brain capacity, low brain activity type of zombie going on with people these days. It's like it's pure mind control, by the way. It is. It's scientific mind control that they got you under from the television and the GMO, BPA, and fluoride. Outside of the cross of Calvary, he said, I believe the Ark of Noah is the greatest reminder of the message of salvation of God. Noah and his family had to go through a doorway to be saved. We now need to go through a doorway to be saved. Jesus said, I am the doorway. We praise our Creator God for his blessings and for the incredible support we just witnessed from our generous supporters around the country. Ham said of the project, yes, there have been days of nervous anticipation. Many challenges and roadblocks came up as we worked through the stages of the bond offering leading up to the final bond delivery. From atheists registering for the bond offering and attempting to disrupt it, to secular bloggers and some reporters writing misleading and inaccurate articles about the bonds, the obstacles were numerous and disruptive. Well, the enemy cannot do anything to fight against what God has to work with. It says in the Bible that wherever I cause my name to be glorified, I will be there to bless you. You know what I mean? Like, the enemy, all he can do is do corrupt things, manipulate, dominate, intimidate, lie, steal. The enemy will try to do the most disgusting things to stop you from being successful, because the world likes to bow down to man and kiss man's feet and be a slave to man. So they're going to do everything corrupt, because man, nothing good comes from man. Man wants to do everything their way, and whatever ends that they're going towards, they will use whatever means it takes to get to it. Doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. Look at PETA, for example. PETA, they mean well and all that, but are their methods well? I don't think so. But anyways, this is a pretty long article, and I digressed too much, and I talked over it a lot, but come read this article for yourself. It's very interesting. A real-life replica of Noah's Ark is being built, so I really recommend you come read this. God bless you, and have a good day.